Hey, how's it going, everybody? Shaun here for another daily movie review. Today, we're going to be talking about the 2005 film Red Eye. The film is directed by Wes Craven, written by Carl Ellsworth. It stars Rachel McAdams, Cillian Murphy, Brian Cox, Max Cash, Jama Mays, and others. The logline plot synopsis is: a woman is kidnapped by a stranger on a routine flight. Threatened by the potential murder of her father, she is pulled into a plot to assist her captor in offing a politician. So yeah, Red Eye. Wes Craven's Red Eye. This thing, I guess it was a script that was around for a long time, and it originally was written for Sean Penn and, what's her name? Ex-Mrs. Sean Penn. Oh no. Drawing a blank. Robin Wright. There we go. We got it. We got there, everybody. Yeah, it was originally written for them. And for whatever reason, when Wes Craven got on board with it, he was like, "No, I want to make it like more youthful. I want to like the hip and happening people." Because at the time, Rachel McAdams, Cillian Murphy, they were kind of hot up and comers, especially Rachel McAdams. Cillian Murphy, they were trying to make a thing, and it never really happened in the United States. I mean, he's a great actor. I actually really like Cillian Murphy, but this was during that, like, kind of the media push for him to become a leading man, a new leading man. But Rachel McAdams, this is a couple years after Mean Girls. I mean, I think The Notebook was the year before this. Yeah, The Notebook and Mean Girls were the year before this. So, and those were big movies. Those are big popular things of the era, you know. And I was just I was at the old Big Lots picking up some shampoo or body wash actually, and this was in the clearance bin for like $1. I was like, holy shit! I have not seen Red Eye probably since it came out. Let's give it another go. I said I remember it being okay. I'm not the biggest Wes Craven fan. So it's not even like Wes Craven's name drew me to it. My favorite Wes Craven movies are actually like the stuff he did in the 70s and early 80s. Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes, Swamp Thing. Those are the Wes Craven movies I really like. I'm not even a huge like Freddy Krueger guy. Like, I think Freddy Krueger's okay, but the Nightmare on Elm Street series is okay. But I'm not like a huge fan. And Scream, I like Scream well enough. But the thing I've noticed with Wes Craven is, especially like post Nightmare on Elm Street, a lot of his movies are predicated on the material, like on the quality of his movies, predicated on like the material, because Scream is more like Kevin Williamson. And then, you have the stuff from the 70s, which The Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes. That's more like circumstance of how they're made is actually what makes them interesting movies, especially like Last House on the Left. It's so gritty and raw. It's because of the circumstances in which they made it. They have these 16 millimeter cameras out running around in the woods in upstate New York with some great character actors. And then the rest is history. But yeah, so I've never really, I know people consider him like a master of horror, and there's probably some sort of argument. He's been involved with these things forever. But I don't know. I don't know if I could pick a movie of his out of a lineup if I didn't already know. At this point, now that he's passed, we have complete inventory of his work. So, but I don't know, because Red Eye is a movie that's like pretty okay, really dumb. Like, the plot is completely ludicrous, makes not a lot of sense, but it moves very quickly. And it has a interesting cast. Rachel McAdams is good in the lead. Cillian Murphy is a good heel. He's a good bad guy. He's menacing. The novelty of being trapped on a plane for most of the movie ends up working pretty well. And then they there's a lot of creative situations they were able to come up with to kind of create and build tension. But I would say, as sort of a directorial perspective, from that perspective, feels a little anonymous. I mean, this is something like Mick Garris could have made this movie, okay? Mick Garris, master of horror Mick Garris, the hack himself, probably could have made Red Eye, and it would be about the same. In fact, this is a little TV movie-ish. you know? In all honesty. If this had, like, half the budget and actors that you maybe kind of saw on TV shows but didn't really know who they were, you're just like, oh, it's that guy who's in all those TV shows. It would probably be kind of the same. You probably could have got away with it, to be honest with you. And for most of the runtime, like the first hour is really good, and then the last 20 minutes, as soon as they get off the plane, the movie completely falls apart, and it almost turns into a different movie. It turns into like a dumb, I don't even know how to describe it, like a slasher movie. It has like Cillian Murphy turns into a Terminator-esque person. He's just chasing Rachel McAdams to her father's house. That's the weird thing about the movie. They couldn't even come up with like a better conceit than like, we have somebody outside who's going to kill your father, and if you don't do what we say. And it's that simple. Like, there is not a lot of layers. It does not get into the nature of the crime that is going to be committed. Cillian Murphy is some sort of terrorist fixer. Seems like he works for, it's like if he was he's like an evil CIA guy. Like, he's a bad agent, running around, nation building, setting people up, doing nefarious things, making mischievous deals. Yeah, and it's very superficial. It's like all on the surface. Rachel McAdams' character is, she's Rachel McAdams. That's what makes the character kind of relatable and likable, is that Rachel McAdams naturally kind of puts that out there. Because the character, she's not given a lot to work with, in all honesty. She's not. Which is strange. Apparently this script was like a hot commodity. Like, Cillian Murphy, like, lobbied for this. Like, he went and flew down to see Wes Craven. Like, he had some other engagement, or maybe it was like the day before he got married or whatever. He had to like hop a flight to go have lunch with Wes Craven and try to convince him. And Wes Craven liked his eyes. He liked his eyes, so he cast him. Yeah. It's an okay movie. Like, it's entertaining. As soon as you start thinking about anything going on in the movie, though, it completely falls apart. It is not well constructed as a story. And it's just kind of there to be almost like an exercise in tension building. And it's largely successful. And that's why I would say that the movie overall is worth checking out. If you're really bored, if you've never seen it, you just want some sort of passively entertaining thriller, Red Eye would do it for you, I just I don't know. I might actually watch this with the commentary. I think I used to own the DVD when it came out. I did not see it in the theater when it came out, but I think I have the DVD because I feel like I've listened to the commentary. And maybe when I go to bed one of these nights, throw on that old commentary, hear what they were thinking behind the scenes for some weird reason. I think I've talked about this before. If you've been watching these daily movie reviews, I have like an affinity for watching audio commentaries for movies that are like miss the mark, or that are or bad movies. Not that I'm saying Red Eye is bad, but I'm curious, like, what the logic behind some of the decisions, or why they felt good about the script. Why was the script like sought after? How much did they change it? When I talked about earlier, it was originally intended to be like Shaun Penn and Robin Wright. I actually honestly would much have preferred that. I think you might have gotten, imagine Shaun Penn in the Cillian Murphy role. That would actually been probably pretty fucking great, to be completely honest. And Robin Wright, I could see that. I buy it. There was a time, there was a time when a lot of movies were taking place on planes. And this was part of that era. Who ended it? Who ended this era? Was it Jodie Foster's Flight Plan? No, Liam Neeson. What the hell is that called? Unknown? No. Liam Neeson did a movie where he's trying to stop terrorists on a plane. He's like an air marshal. Yeah, I remember that. It's a ripe, it's a scenario that is ripe for wacky things to happen on. Just saying. It's actually it's interesting because this comes out in 2005, so that's 4 years after 9/11. I wonder if that's why maybe it played so well, because it's a fairly well reviewed movie, like just playing on the anxieties of people, like something bad happening on a plane specifically. Although the plane's not in danger, though. The plane is never in danger. And then the movie ends up, and I'm even thinking about it now. The movie's a little toothless in the sense, like it's a PG-13 movie. It feels very much like a PG-13 movie, but it's a little toothless in the sense that, like, they threaten that bad things are going to happen to other passengers if she tries to communicate with them. But nothing ever really bad happens. They do a fake out where you think Cillian Murphy might have killed an old lady or might have done something to her, and then you realize, oh no, she's fine. She's still back there. She's yapping away. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not like it's a missed opportunity. It feels maybe it's like a product of its era, but it's one of these pleasantly mediocre experiences. It's very watchable. I wouldn't go out of your way to watch it, but if you see it for $1 at the Big Lots, you know what I mean? I bought it on DVD. Actually, I don't even think this is on Blu-ray. I'm not even sure. But I bought a DVD. I don't buy fucking DVDs, folks. I'm done with DVDs. But for $1, I'll buy one. Because I got a sickness. I got a problem. It's like, oh, here's this movie. I probably don't like it. Wes Craven, I don't give a shit. Whatever. It's $1. Give it here. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to know more about Zoobox, bunch of links in the description for Facebook, for Instagram, for my personal Twitter, for Dan's Twitter. Also, if you'd like to make a recommendation for one of these daily movie reviews, throw it in the comments. I will put it on the list. All right, everybody. You have the best day.